Hey everyone, it's Creaseworks, and this is the iPhone 12 Pro. Now the question is, should you pick one up or should you stay with the phone that you currently have? If you are an owner of last year's 11 series phones, then you're probably good, but if you're coming from an older phone such as the iPhone 10 or earlier, then you might want to take a look at the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. I have the 12 Pro and I'm going to go over a few of the things that made me want to upgrade. So starting off, the cameras were a big deal for me. It has 3 cameras compared to the 2 on my previous iPhone 10. And when you look at the cameras on the iPhone 12 Pro, you're talking about a triple camera system. So that includes a 13mm ultra wide angle camera, a 26mm standard camera, and then a 52mm telephoto camera. Each of them gives you a different perspective, so depending on what you're trying to capture in your photo, you have different options that allow you to capture the image at different angles. Another big improvement between previous older generation phones and the iPhone 12 Pro is the way that it handles color. When you're looking at colors as far as taking photos, you have a much better image when it comes to how it handles the lowlights and how it handles the highlights. Images are a lot more detailed, more vibrant, and everything looks a lot more natural because a lot of the processing that happens with the A14 Bionic chip makes everything look a lot more realistic than it did on previous models, where it still had a lot of detail, but you're able to extract more of what makes something look like how it looks with your eye on the newer phones. Obviously, a thing that's going to be a change between older generation phones and newer phones is performance. Using a new phone with a new processor compared to an older phone using newer software, you can easily see a big difference when it comes to performance. Apps are a lot snappier, a lot more responsive, everything feels a lot more fluid, and even without a 120Hz display, sadly, it still feels like an amazing piece of tech. And with the design that they went with this year, which was reminiscent of the iPhone 4 and iPhone 5 design, I am very happy to have picked one up. Apple hammered home a lot of talk of 5G this year, and while that's great for people who live in areas where there's 5G support, for me, I don't have that in my area. But because there is a 5G radio inside this phone, that means I'm getting better 4G LTE speeds, and whenever I am in a 5G area, I can take advantage of those speeds as well. So it's a bit of future-proofing as well as just improving the baseline performance of my signal as well. Finally, the big reason why I would say upgrading to the iPhone 12 Pro would be a good idea if you're coming from an older phone is that there are so many deals and rebates that are available right now if you trade in your older device. I was able to trade in my old iPhone 10 to Apple along with my carrier, and because of the credit that I got, it basically added up to the baseline iPhone 12. So if you're looking between the iPhones, why get the iPhone 12 Pro? Well, if you're coming from an older iPhone, such as the iPhone 10, if you trade it in and you look at your carrier rebate options, then you can see that there are a lot of options for you to get a lot of money from your older phone to use towards a new phone. When I traded in my iPhone 10, I was able to get credit from both Apple and from my carrier, and that gave me enough credit to be able to bring the price of the iPhone 12 Pro down to the price of a base iPhone 12. And for me, the value there is that I get all the specs of the Pro model, but I'm paying the price of the baseline iPhone 12. And for me, that is a win-win where I do get the best of both worlds. I get the price of the iPhone 12, but I get that Pro performance in the cameras and in the processing and everything else. So to close out this video, should you or should you not get the iPhone 12 Pro? Like I said at the beginning, if you fit the categories of I have last year's phone, then more than likely you don't need to upgrade. But if you're coming from an older phone for the reasons I listed before, the camera, the performance, the radio improvements, then go ahead, update. You won't be disappointed at all. So that's it for this video. My name is Creaseworks. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Creaseworks. I'm Creaseworks everywhere. If this video was helpful, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit subscribe. My name is Creaseworks, and I'll see you in the next one.